business for free when you buy Amazon. So they were disclosed for the first time that advertising was a $10 billion business in the quarter. And that means it's on growing at 30%, which means that advertising alone which is a media business, is on track to be $40 billion this year of revenue at like what should be a 70% margin for most, which is what most advertising is. Plus they own Twitch, which is the biggest video game platform on earth. Plus they own Amazon.
And right now, you can try it risk-free and enjoy special savings, too. Get on-demand workouts free shipping, and more. Call now.
Hi, I'm Jane King, and this is New to the Street, in person back here at the NASDAQ market site in New York City. This show is all about public, private, blockchain companies, the CEOs, the founders, and the innovators, bringing you lots of opportunities to consider. Here we go. Industry has gotten a lot of attention lately, and a lot of people wondering, how do I even start to get into this? And in particular, wealth managers also asking these questions as well. So with me, somebody who can kind of help with that direction, Bill Barthide, the CEO and founder of Abra. Bill, just start with explaining, what is Abra? What's the company all about?
Sure. So Abra is a crypto bank. It's a wealth management platform for people who want to invest in cryptocurrencies. We offer a high yield service for earning interest on Bitcoin, Ethereum, but also dollars as stable coins. We're actually paying out over, with our rewards tokens, up to 13% interest on dollar stablecoins. And then now our newest model is we allow people to borrow against their crypto holdings. So let's say you've got a lot of Bitcoin or Ethereum, you don't want to sell it because you want the price appreciation, you don't want to pay capital gains taxes, but you want to access some of the gains. You can borrow short-term or long-term against those crypto holdings. Okay. So a complete wealth management platform for crypto.
Sounds like it. Now, when did you start it? Why did you start it?
Sure. So I started Abra several years ago. It was about 6 years ago now. I really wanted to form a next generation banking service that was crypto-centric, that democratized access globally. We have customers in over 100 countries, from the wealthiest Americans to the poorest in Haiti and other places in Central America, and basically give them a single banking platform that anyone could use anywhere, anytime. And that became Abra. And so you're going to see not only the wealth management features we're talking about, but payments and other forms of lending and credit evolve in the platform over the coming months and years.
Yeah, no, this sounds like exactly what the promise of Bitcoin and blockchain is. I mean, democratizing money, using technology to do that. How has the business evolved recently?
It's been an amazing and awesome ride. I mean, we're at least 10x bigger than we were over 13 months ago. We're over 100 employees now. We're managing well over $1 billion in assets, growing every month. Even with the pullback in crypto prices the last few weeks, our AUM has been going up. So that should tell you a lot about deposits and interest. I'm here in Miami. It looks like I'm on the moon, but I'm actually in Miami for the big Bitcoin conference, presented to about 4,000 people yesterday. And just the inbound interest in everything related to crypto, whether it's, how do I get in Bitcoin, Ethereum? What's the next big crypto play? What does NFTs mean? How do I invest in DeFi? I mean, just everything is coming at us so fast.
Yeah.
It feels like .com, but like a whole other level, because there's real business. In the .com days, maybe you weren't old enough, I am, but there was so much like hype without money.
Right.
And now there's actual real business and profitable companies behind it. And there's just not enough hours in the day right now to do everything that we want to do.
No, I remember all that. Socks.com, pets.com.
Yeah, exactly. It's none of that nonsense this time around.
Okay, so finally, I mean, so Bitcoin, Ethereum, those are the biggies. I mean, but we hear a lot about other ones, and some of those other cryptocurrencies have had unbelievable returns.
Right.
25,000% in a year and things like that.
Crazy.
I mean, how do you, are those something people should look at? How do you even figure out where the promising ones are?
Sure. So what's interesting about this is that because of the nature of the tokenization of these protocols, you have early stage access as an investor when traditionally they were monolithic software systems that only venture capitalists could invest in early. Now that's good in the sense of it democratizes access. It's tough in the sense of VCs are paid very well to dig in deep on tech in order to pick winners. Sometimes they get it right, sometimes they get it wrong, but all in all, they make more money than they lose. Whereas the public is now able to make similar decisions, which is, I'm totally for that. It's just that often the public doesn't have as much information or can't go as deep technically to make these decisions. Now, putting that aside, what's driving a lot of the pricing on some of these crypto assets is network effects. So if you take Solana, for example, a lot of these games and NFT platforms are being built on Solana, and the developer support is like, it reminds me of Microsoft in the early 90s, which is obviously what drove them to tremendous heights. And this developer support and the network effects that come with it is very easy for investors to understand. It doesn't take a deep dive in the technology to understand. And people make stock buying decisions with a lot less information than that. So that's interesting to me on a couple of levels, right? It gives people access earlier. These are not securities, at least in my opinion, although I'm not a securities lawyer. And they're liquid and 24/7 liquid. So if you don't like what's happening on a Sunday at 3 p.m., you sell your position. Whereas stocks are untradeable more than they're tradable in terms of the number of hours in the week. And so it's a very different market.
Yeah, it is. And it can be overwhelming, but fascinating.
Well, our goal is to make it easier and more approachable for the average investor, for sure.
So can somebody go to your website and learn more?
Yeah. Okay. Abra.com. Follow me on Twitter or download the app, all the above.
Okay. Bill, great to talk to you. Always interesting to kind of explore the future with somebody. So
absolutely. My pleasure.
Thank you.
Here at Glint, we're making money fairer. How? By using gold. Glint lets you store, exchange, send, and spend multiple currencies, including gold, through a simple iPhone or Android app. You can spend your currencies and your gold in small or large amounts using the Glint MasterCard. Register for your Glint account today by downloading the app from your favorite app store. Glint, the global currency.
Cyber attacks are a global threat affecting consumers and companies. Whether you're using your computer or mobile device to bank, shop, or work remotely, your privacy and corporate data are at risk. For over 20 years, Strikeforce Technologies has developed some of the world's leading cybersecurity solutions. Millions of users around the world have put their trust in us to protect what matters most. Your privacy and data are your business. Protecting it is ours. Visit StrikeForceTech.com today.
Growing clones in-house can severely drain both quality and costs for cannabis and hemp businesses. PharmaGreen Biotech is the key to growing high-quality plantlets. PharmaGreen services includes premium tissue-cultured starter plantlets and live preservation of any plant species. Grow into the future of optimized plant growth with PharmaGreen. See our update at update.pharmagreen.ca.
Secure, the true solution for your digital privacy and security. Secure is a private and secure messaging and email solution hosted in Switzerland, using proprietary military-grade encryption and Swiss privacy laws, giving you true privacy. Secure doesn't collect or sell your data and doesn't require your phone number or any personal data that hackers target. You can message and email non-secure users privately without the need for others to download Secure. Visit secure.com. Regain and protect your privacy today.
With me is Patrick Bertagna, the CEO of GTX, and we're going to learn about GTX today and what all this company is about. So welcome, Patrick, and let's just start. Tell me about GTX. So what is the company? What is the mission?
We're in the health and safety business. We operate under 3 different business units. So we have our tracking and monitoring solutions. We manufacture and distribute medical supplies, and we license intellectual property.
Okay, so we got a nice overview. Can you give us a little more detail about each of those 3, exactly what happens in those units?
Certainly. So in our tracking monitoring unit, we're probably best known for our flagship product, which is the GPS Smart Soul. You may have seen this on the Keeping Up with the Kardashians show. It's an embedded GPS device intended to track and monitor people with cognitive memory disorders. Then in our medical supply division, we manufacture and distribute everything from masks to sanitizers, gloves, UV systems, and we sell that to both the consumer and to the medical community. And then we have a pretty extensive intellectual property portfolio and patents, and we license that out to other technology companies.
Interesting. Masks, sanitizers, COVID-19 test kits. I mean, that's a super hot area right now.
It is.
So, well, let's talk about your customer base. So who would your customers be?
So we sell everyone from the U.S. government to small and medium-sized businesses, to the medical community. We do a lot direct to consumer. We have a presence in over 35 countries. Many of our products are reimbursement eligible, so we work with insurance companies and government agencies as well, fire departments, police departments. We have a pretty wide gamut of customers, both domestically and international.
Well, and it's really interesting that you have, the masks, and these are some of the high quality masks, like the N95 masks and things, sanitizers. I mean, because early in the pandemic, we realized how much of this we get from overseas, but these are all made in the U.S., right?
A lot of them are, yes. We make our sanitizers we make in the U.S., some of our masks we make in the U.S., as many, our face shields we're making in the U.S., as many products that we were able to source material for early on in the pandemic and manufacture and secure sourcing and manufacturing in the U.S., we did. I mean, obviously, we weren't able to do everything, but we did our best to. We're big promoters of Made in USA.
Okay. Very interesting to learn about GTX today, Patrick. I look forward to some more updates this year.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Here at Glint, we're making money fairer. How? By using gold. Glint lets you store, exchange, send, and spend multiple currencies, including gold, through a simple iPhone or Android app. You can spend your currencies and your gold in small or large amounts using the Glint MasterCard. Register for your Glint account today by downloading the app from your favorite app store. Glint, the global currency.
Growing clones in-house can severely drain both quality and costs for cannabis and hemp businesses. PharmaGreen Biotech is the key to growing high-quality plantlets. PharmaGreen services includes premium tissue-cultured starter plantlets and live preservation of any plant species. Grow into the future of optimized plant growth with PharmaGreen. See our update at update.pharmagreen.ca.
Need hearing aids? Tired of paying $5,000 or more? Tired of making multiple trips to have your hearing aids adjusted? Now you don't have to. Our Hear IQ 4 medical-grade hearing aids are fully rechargeable, Bluetooth compatible, and start at under $1,000 for a complete set or monthly payments of $44. Our hearing aids are self-adjusting using any smartphone and features remote programming by hearing care professionals without you ever leaving home. Order your pair today at myheariq.com.
Cyber attacks are a global threat affecting consumers and companies. Whether you're using your computer or mobile device to bank, shop, or work remotely, your privacy and corporate data are at risk. For over 20 years, Strikeforce Technologies has developed some of the world's leading cybersecurity solutions. Millions of users around the world have put their trust in us to protect what matters most. Your privacy and data are your business. Protecting it is ours. Visit StrikeForceTech.com today.
Missoula is a mobile wallet designed for families, in particular, teaching kids how to spend and save and give to charity in a responsible way and a safe way as well, which is one of the key parts of it. So with me, Rick Lane, who is on Rego, which is a parent company of Missoula's outside advisory committee, also a child safety expert. And then Kathy Cupcutt, who is a lifestyle parenting expert as well, to talk about this. So Rick, just let's talk about the app and bring us up to date on what it is and if there's been any changes since we spoke last.
Yeah, very excited about how the app is rolling out. The adoption rate has been going great. We just launched, as you know, officially in November through the holidays, and we're really ramping up our educational efforts and marketing efforts to get the app in front of as many parents as possible, because we strongly believe once parents see the app, they're going to be excited, not just because of its functionality in helping financial literacy and managing kids' money and how they're spending in the online and in-person world, but also the fact that we are the only COPPA compliant digital family wallet. And what that means is that Missoula has been certified by an outside entity that's been certified by the Federal Trade Commission to highlight and showcase that we are collecting and using information in compliance with COPPA. But even better, we actually don't collect the information on the kids. And so that helps in terms of parental control of information sharing on the kids, unlike today's world where kids' information is flying all across the web, and in particular in these financial transactions as we move more and more to a cashless society.
Mm-hmm. Well, and the digital wallet space is just growing, and I think getting, Venmo and PayPal are also convenient. And Kathy, why did you choose to get involved with the app?
Well, first of all, Happy New Year, and it's a pleasure meeting you. When I spoke to Rick about this, I loved it because he's right. It doesn't dawn on you that they might be collecting data on your little one. And I personally do use Venmo. And with Venmo, and I love Venmo, don't get me wrong, I absolutely love Venmo. But one of the things with Venmo is your information's still out there. Even though you might be able to block out the amount, and your information's out there and who I'm having a daily transaction with. And that's terrifying for me to think that my kiddo, once he is on Venmo or he's using my Venmo account, people will be able to see what he's doing or they can reach out to him and friend him. I don't want that happening. And I do need his privacy protected for as long as I possibly can have him protected. And this is fantastic. I'm head over heels for the product.
Yeah, no, it's teaching kids financial literacy is absolutely crucial. For society, I feel right? Like, they're independent and they learn how it works and you earn and, it's just really important. So, Rick, just to conclude, just talk to me about how parents can find out more about it. How can they download the app?
Oh, absolutely. It's available both on the Apple and Android store. On our website, you can go to Missoula.io, just search Missoula. Right now, we're actually offering at $10 for people who sign up to put into their accounts. I'm hoping that when the kids have that $10, they donate to their favorite charity, but they could also buy other things with it. But it's a time right now to sign up for Missoula at Missoula.io, and we're very excited. And just search. And I'm also very excited that Missoula is beginning to receive awards from nationally recognized organizations, family groups, the Cozy and others. And so this is a growing movement of not just online child safety, but also financial management.
Mm-hmm. And it is free for 12 months, right?
Yes, and it's free for 12 months. So you get $10 in your account and free for 12 months. What more do you want?
You come out on top there. So, yeah. All right. Thank you so much, Rick and Kathy, for joining me today and explaining more. And I look forward to hearing more as the year goes on with Missoula and the new features and how everything goes this year.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Here at Glint, we're making money fairer. How? By using gold. Glint lets you store, exchange, send, and spend multiple currencies, including gold, through a simple iPhone or Android app. You can spend your currencies and your gold in small or large amounts using the Glint MasterCard. Register for your Glint account today by downloading the app from your favorite app store. Glint, the global currency.
Secure, the true solution for your digital privacy and security. Secure is a private and secure messaging and email solution hosted in Switzerland, using proprietary military-grade encryption and Swiss privacy laws, giving you true privacy. Secure doesn't collect or sell your data and doesn't require your phone number or any personal data that hackers target. You can message and email non-secure users privately without the need for others to download Secure. Visit secure.com. Regain and protect your privacy today.
Welcome to New to the Street. This is your weekly hack with Elaine Guillai. Elaine is with GlobeX Data, the leader in Swiss-hosted private and secure communications and data management. Welcome back, Elaine.
Thank you, Anna. Happy to be here, and welcome to our viewer.
Well, I always learn so much, so let's get right into it. Okay, let's talk about targets on the internet. What are some of the most tempting targets that attracts attackers the most when it comes to the web?
Yeah, so basically a new year and a new report, and we look forward to basically, unfortunately, all the news that's going to come in, because it's going to be also a little bit in the US, there's an election year for the Senate. In Europe, you have presidential election. So there was an article that talks about the most favorite targets. And among the top 2-3, you had the VPNs. So you have a lot of people using VPN. A lot of them are free VPN, or paid VPN that you configure yourself. Well, VPNs are a big target of hackers, because obviously somebody who uses a VPN is trying to hide their ID or their location, or sometimes, basically that's what it is. And also sometimes they secure a particular connection, ideally. Most of the VPNs don't work, they have been hacked, etc. There's a couple of good ones out there. So the hackers are looking at VPN users. So that's another one. If you use a VPN, I would recommend a VPN that uses the highest encryption level, and don't go for the free guys that you can configure yourself. Mm-hmm. So that's one. The other thing is Exchange Online, or EOL. Older version of Exchange Online, and older could be from 3 months ago, are vulnerable because they're such a huge target that they try to patch them more and more, but you just can't do that every day. So you're bound to have, statistically, you're bound to be hacked, because every week there's pretty much articles out there showing, and then Microsoft goes and patches them. But what happens is you want to make sure that you're proactive. Even companies, and this is mostly for the corporate world, which is dangerous, because now businesses and corporations are affected. So corporations need to be a lot more proactive. If you're a small business and you don't have an IT department, use a secure service instead, pun intended. Obviously, we're going to talk about secure in a minute. But basically, try to get something that's already highly encrypted and secure, similar pricing as opposed to Exchange Online, because you don't have the resources to patch, and then you have to pay extra for an IT company to come and patch you every month.
Good. Well, when it comes to consumers, everyone has an email, right? And so talk to us a little bit about what Secure has implemented, these new rules to help eliminate some spam. We all get spam and we all hate spam, but sometimes spam can be pretty dangerous.
Yes, so spam is going to increase even more because of many reasons, one of them being the election. The other thing is the COVID situation. So there's so many phases, so many things happening now, from pandemic to endemic, or new vaccines or new medicine, basically anything medical related to the COVID situation, you're going to get spam, and also election and so forth. So what we did, we are basically being proactive, because we discovered a couple of bad apples in the basket, so to speak. It would be 1 in 1,000, but still that would be damaging, that they were using our services to spam others, even though we have done restricted measures. So in about 2-3 weeks, we will be implementing and deploying a new system where, if you're a free trial user, because we do offer a free trial for 7 days, you can only send an email to 2 recipients. We had 20, we had unlimited, then we shortened it to 20. That didn't work. So now we're going to shorten it to 2 recipients. And the frequency of the email is what you need to watch. So what we're doing is that we're restricting you to 1 email every 5 minutes. So a spammer is not going to be interested to wait 5 minutes to send an email to only 2 people. It's unfortunate that we have to do that because we have so many legitimate users. As I said, it's 1 in 1,000. But as the service becomes bigger and more recognized, this was actually a European person, don't want to mention the country, that was doing that, but that happens worldwide, right? So we're doing that. And if you want to pay, because until now you had the free 7 days and then they would convert to paid users, we will make sure that people can just convert to paid users without waiting the 7 days, because you have 99.9% of our users are legitimate and they want to send a regular email. But it's enough to test it, to see if the email works, if you like it, if you like the user interface. So that's what we're implementing. It will be deployed in about 2-3 weeks from now. And that protects both the recipients that we don't know, those people getting the spam. It protects our secure user and, of course, our reputation, because if you have too much spam report, you could be blacklisted by the ISPs. So it endangers our business. We have a terms of use. It's clearly dictated. And if somebody tries it for a malicious purpose, they'll get their account shut down with no refund.
Right. Well, and imagine an email without getting spam. I often send to you, I get this spam daily, and it's scary because we don't know where it's coming from. How do they get our information? So imagine an email service where there is no spam. Hard to imagine.
Never reach 100%, but we do have a junk or a spam filtering. So if you receive any spam or junk on a secure mail, on the web mail, or even non-web mail, you basically click spam, and the system learns as an artificial intelligence. So it will learn eventually over time. We have a fairly good system. It's never 100% because you always have people that are more creative. The only thing we can do is tell our users, when you get spam, click on the spam button on our interface and it will recognize, and eventually it will block fully. We do have an excellent system. We've had some stories where people were getting a ton of spam, and within, a few days of switching to us, it has reduced 99%. I never say 100 because there's always one that squeaks by, but definitely we have a big reduction in spam with our system. And also another thing to avoid spam, whichever email you use, don't use these emails. If you have an email that you want to keep private, don't register for newsletters, don't register for free services, because these emails are being sold, especially in the US, and eventually a spammer is going to get access to it and spam you. So be more vigilant with how you use that email address. And again, that's why in many of our sessions, I mentioned use 3 different email addresses. You get your couple free service and you have your secure mail.
Yep, that's great advice. The free email for all that stuff, and then the secure mail for the important data that we want to keep private. Well, good. Thank you so much. We look forward to you joining us again in the future, because I know you have lots of updates coming out this year, and it's going to be perfect because this is going to be a very vulnerable year for our data security and privacy. So we appreciate all that you're doing out there to keep our information safe. So thank you so much for joining us again on New to the Street.
Thank you, and a pleasure to be here, and looking forward to see you and our viewers next week.
Thank you all for watching.
On my show, I put no barriers between myself and my viewer. I don't use jargon. I never talk QE3. I don't use scripts. I just speak into the camera, tell the story, and we're invested together.
Fox Business, invested in you.
Our story was begun by someone else. Our story was often shaped by generations before them. Our story was forged, and maybe even defined by the experiences of our childhood. But it doesn't need to be. You can be the author. Learn how at numberstory.org.
When I saw Balance of Nature, there was no chemicals. Everything was nature.
Hi, Grandma. I played baseball today.
Oh, that's great. What position did you play?
First base.
That's what Grandpa used to play. When our hearing wouldn't allow us to use a regular phone, it made us feel isolated.
It became difficult to communicate with our friends and family.
Clear Captions was an easy solution for us.
Clear Captions provides captions on a phone like captioning on your TV, so you can see what the caller is saying live as they say it.
Making it easy to understand and respond immediately.
There is no insurance or Medicare required. Clear Captions service is provided at no cost to you through a federally funded program. We deliver, install, and train you on how to use your phone, all at no cost to you.
Give your loved ones the independence and connection they deserve.
Call now to see if you qualify to get a Clear Captions phone at no cost to you. Call 1-800-690-9813. That's 1-800-690-9813.
Up, college is hard. Down, those books are heavy.
My sport is football, but my passion is education.
Right up here.
So every year I take promising high schoolers on a college tour
Lights there, darts there.
to show them that higher education means a brighter future.
James Bullard comments later in the day, and that had to be calculated. I don't think someone's just going to off the top of his head say something, like someone on Twitter posted James Bullard woke up and chose violence today, and that's what it seemed like in the market. The market got pummeled. But I think what they're telling us very clearly, that even though the CPI, which some people call the contrived price index because it underestimates inflation, is telling us that there is inflation. If that's saying there's inflation, there must be a ton. And they're saying we are serious about it. I always wonder how serious they are in the face of declining stock prices. And this is nothing yet in declining stock prices. And I think they're willing, I thought they're willing to withstand maybe even a 20% correction before they blink. But they're definitely telling us they're serious here. It's very interesting times.
Ryan, you're serious, then act serious, right? They're going to wait till March. I mean, they didn't take any action today. Instead, I know that to be able to jawbone the markets is one of the arrows in their quiver, and it's working today. But are you happy with the way the Fed's handling all of this?
Well, you knew they were going to be behind the 8 ball the whole time, right? Come on. Last year with the transitory inflation, and now here we are at the highest level since 1982. So I expect, you've had a tepid Fed. I expect more of the same. I think you have every bank out there falling over themselves to say, it's going to be 7 rate hikes, 8 rate hikes this year. I think they'll fall short of expectations. And that means to me, that the economy is still probably going to run hot and they're not going to reel it in, which is probably pretty bullish.
Speaking of which, I'm feeling like we might be set up for a short squeeze. Tons of puts have been put on. Also, I want you guys to check out the big hedge fund shorting, right? It's getting to the point where last time it was at this level, we saw a big squeeze. Jim, I saw on Twitter where you bought some March calls on NASDAQ, I think. So are you also anticipating, and it looked like we almost got it earlier today before Bullard opened his mouth, a big spike to the upside, even a trading spike?
I'm thinking it's possible. And I actually bought 4620 calls in the S&P, because I think if we move through 4600, so when you try to pick out where the short squeeze is going to happen, and believe me, I love a good short squeeze, you have to rely on your technicals, and that's been a couple highs over the last few months, and I believe if it gets above that, that's where people may throw in the towel in these shorts. Now, when I put them on, it's not been a good trade so far, but it is anticipation of that, and I have till next Wednesday. If it goes above that 4600 level, I think the squeeze could happen.
Right, I know you're longer term. One of the things we're seeing is some retail inflows into funds have picked up big time in the last week. Also, you've been right on this value growth thing, and I think you like emerging markets. Is this where longer-term investors in your mind should remain?
Oh, Charles, man, you're speaking my language here. Absolutely. Look at value over growth this year. No pain, no gain, no pun intended. But in the fall, near the end of the year, it was hard to buy value, and it was a good time to buy it. And now you're seeing that big dispersion. I think that continues. And look at the dollar. The dollar's starting to weaken. If you look at growth rates in the emerging markets, they're going to be just as good as the U.S., and they trade so much cheaper. So I think it's the year of value, and I definitely think it's the year of international. And Jim, you're a bold man with those calls. I give you some props.
Let me ask you about another story, kind of dovetails into, well, certainly economy and policy and all those things. I mean, we're seeing the home builders now, but that's the Fed stuff. But Jim, Dave Chappelle, he spoke out against an affordable housing project in his community. He vowed that he was going to pull funding for a bunch of things he was doing. This is Yellow Springs, where he lives in Ohio. So they shut down the project. And I was telling some folks, this isn't about NIMBY per se. It's about YIMBY. There's a big movement out there to have all these towns make them densely populated. And while some people are saying Dave Chappelle's a bad guy, people do move out to these rural areas for a reason, don't they?
It is absolutely intellectually lazy to look at that video and say, because he opposed this development, he's a bad guy. I've opposed several developments in my town, and it's not always because you don't want the low-income people living around you. You look at the density of that area, how traffic patterns would be, how many units are going to be. I've done this. I've gone through this before. I think people love it, particularly because he got some bad press with his last comedy routine. Be like, see, now we told you he's this bad guy, and I think it's absolute nonsense.
Yeah. Ryan, you don't have to worry about this. They'll never do this in Hamptons, so you're cool. Ryan, Jim, thank you both very much. We'll talk to you again soon. Coming up, I'm going to give you my takeaway on today's session, and also maybe sifting through these ashes for these oversold names. Don't go away.
There's a different way to treat HIV. It's once monthly injectable Cabenuva. Cabenuva is the only once-a-month complete HIV treatment for adults who are undetectable.
Cabenuva helps keep me undetectable. It's 2 injections given by my healthcare provider once a month.
HIV pills aren't on my mind.
I love being able to pick up and go. Don't receive Cabenuva if you're allergic to its ingredients or taking certain medicines which may interact with Cabenuva. Serious side effects include allergic reactions, post-injection reactions, liver problems, and depression. If you have a rash and other allergic reaction symptoms, stop Cabenuva and get medical help right away. Tell your doctor if you have liver problems or mental health concerns, and if you are pregnant, breastfeeding, or considering pregnancy. Some of the most common side effects include injection site reactions, fever, and tiredness. If you switch to Cabenuva, attend all treatment appointments.
With once a month Cabenuva, I'm good to go.
Ask your doctor about once monthly Cabenuva.
Hi friends, Richard Karn here. Now I'm known as the guy who can fix just about anything, but the technology in most appliances requires very special training to fix. My point is, even I know when I've met my match, and that's why my family has Choice Home Warranty. So we won't get stuck with high-priced repairs.
Choice Home Warranty covers over 25 major home systems and appliances. That's your AC, heating, plumbing, kitchen and laundry appliances, and so much more.
Imagine for less than a cup of coffee a day, Choice Home Warranty can help protect you from expensive major system and appliance breakdowns that your homeowner's insurance doesn't cover. But you have to call now before it's too late.
Every homeowner should have Choice Home Warranty. Your homeowner's insurance is not going to cover your appliances.
Washing machine, dryer, refrigerator, air condition. If I had any issues arise, they were able to take care of it immediately.
Now, homeowner's insurance won't protect you when your home's major systems and appliances break down due to normal wear and tear. But Choice Home Warranty will. They can help cover repairs and replacements.
Choice Home Warranty is the best warranty we've ever used. It would save you so much money in the long run.
Hey, I'm not the only one raving about Choice Home Warranty. They were named a Best Home Warranty Company and Best Claim Service by U.S. News 360 Reviews.
Call Choice Home Warranty now and get access to a nationwide network of over 15,000 technicians and the latest appointment setting technology so you'll know when they're on their way.
If I have an issue with an appliance or something